Today on the show, it's Hot Comics Monthly, the monthly show where I tell you the hot comics that are coming out in the following month. This month being May 2014. Okay, so Hot Comics Monthly is here again, but there is something that I want to stress that I didn't exactly cover in the last one, and it was very evident that people were very confused about this in the comments. Comics get delayed a lot, like a crazy amount, and it's okay because that just means that they're making the comic even better, but it does mean that you have to check that your local store has the comic before you go there trying to buy it. It's very easy to tell if a comic has been delayed or not. Just Google DC or Marvel comic book releases this week, and there'll be thousands of websites telling you the comic book releases for this week. That being said, if you have your local store's phone number and you know they don't mind people calling in just to check what's in stock, just use that. It's much easier. Okay, so for our first comic in May, we have Teen Titans Annual number 3. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people get annuals confused with trade paperbacks, which is a silly mistake to make because an annual would imply that it only comes out once a year, but there can be 3 or 4 trade paperbacks out within 1 year. What an annual is a larger comic than usual, and by larger I mean it's got about 50 pages as opposed to the usual 30, and it serves to tie up all the loose ends in a current series. It can also serve to take a series in a new direction or give a series an explosive finale that it deserves. And that is what Teen Titans Annual number 3 is going to do. I'm excited for this because annuals have been known to save an entire series. And while I do say that the Teen Titans comic did miss the point of the Teen Titans, I did like it. I just wish it wasn't called the Teen Titans. Nonetheless, in my experience, it's rare to come across a bad annual. They have to be good. They're more expensive than usual comics. Future's End, a series by DC that is apparently going to change the direction of the New 52 forever. No one really knows what that means at the moment. Some people think that that means there's going to be a time skip, and some hopeful individuals think that the New 52 is going to be cancelled and we're just going to go back to the old continuity. I personally think that it's just going to be a case of the future is going to be changed and we're going to get a whole new set of characters, which would be a very bold move and would be very exciting. As far as I'm aware, this series is not going to be very newcomer friendly, but I would still say pick it up anyway because it is a weekly series, which means you can just pick up the first 3 issues, and if you still don't know what's going on by issue number 3, stop reading it. But you might surprise yourself with the comic book knowledge that you already have. Now, what worries me is that this means that there is going to be 2 weekly series from DC running side by side, which is usually a bad situation to be in. I don't understand why they wanted to have 2 weekly series running side by side when the teams for weekly series are so big anyway. Couldn't they have just had 1 really big team working on 1 huge weekly series? I don't know, maybe I'm worried about nothing, but it always pays to be a little bit on edge about weekly series. This being said, all the art that we've seen so far looks awesome. Probably the best thing about this series that I've heard though, is that the first issue is going to be free. Free on Saturday more specifically, free for Free Comic Book Day. If this series sounds like something that you would like to read, go to your local comic book store on Saturday and pick it up for free. It's totally worth it. Sinestro number 2. I picked up Sinestro number 1 last month, and I'm not the biggest Lantern title reader, but I actually really enjoyed this. The art in this comic honestly is nothing special, other than the way they draw lighting. The way they draw lighting is really impressive, and that sounds ridiculous, but lots of artists just don't know how to light scenes properly, so they just don't bother. But in this series, they know what they're doing. I can't really judge the story too much because, like I said, it's only at issue number 2, but so far I'm enjoying it. Okay guys, we are halfway through the video and I have something to tell you. I am now affiliated with mycomicbookshop.com. Now, I wouldn't recommend this website if I didn't think it was as good as it is, but trust me, it's possibly the best comic book website on the internet. So you know me, I'm not the world's biggest fan of digital comics, and I always say you should only get them as a last resort. Well, now you never have to get a digital comic. This website has a catalog that spans from today right back to the beginning of the golden age of comics, and that is insane. I've actually made quite a few purchases off of this website, and they've had everything I've wanted, and they were very, very helpful and very, very affordable too. I actually compared my comic book shop to eBay to see which website was cheaper to get physical comics from. I used the New 52's Teen Titans, including the annuals, because that's a nice round 33, and on eBay it was going to cost me about £120 to get all of them. On my comic book shop it was only going to cost me £70, including shipping, to get all of them. That is an insane price difference. I think this website is great if you're kind of new to comics and you're a bit too shy to go to a store. Well, it's a nice, reliable website where you can order them online and collect physical issues. mycomicbookshop.com, you should definitely check it out by clicking the link that is somewhere on this video and down below. So on to Marvel this month. There aren't actually that many good comics. Well, there are good comics, but for people that have been reading already, which isn't a good thing to do, especially around this time of year. That being said, there are a few issues that I'm excited about. Primarily number ones actually. Original Sin number 1. This is actually going to be about the Avengers finding Utao, the Watcher, dead on the moon. This series is going to reveal deep dark secrets about every hero in the Avengers, Spider-Man and Nick Fury. Not only do I feel this series is really risky, I think it's Marvel finally answering DC's identity crisis event. My only concern is that this series sounds like it's going to delve quite deep into the characters, which traditionally is not done in the Avengers. The Avengers is usually just a very surface level comic that you can burn through in about 4 minutes. Still, I do love the Watcher, and reading his death is going to be very, very important to me, not only as a person, but as an artist. Cyclops is actually getting his own series, and I really wish I could tell you a lot about it, but I know nothing about it other than this is some of the artwork. What I do know is that either 2 outcomes can come of this series. Number 1 is either Cyclops is going to continue his mutant terrorist crusade, or number 2, he's going to be shocked back to the side of good. Either way, it's going to be very, very exciting and a very, very good read. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. What comics are you looking forward to this month? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more Hot Comics Monthly. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, like me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.